When it's horrible, bad and wrong. When it's horrible, bad and wrong. When it's horrible, bad and wrong.
Welcome back to the Vlogalog. I think, I'm not sure if this will be a singular episode or like I have been doing, we'll have Chris at the front of this episode. I don't know yet. This is a little bit, we're recording this a little bit in advance here. So joining me in this particular segment, whether it's for the entire episode or not, I'm not sure, is Mr. Benzone50. That's his username. He has been a very important part of the webcam's process for a little while now. He's been one of the pillars of Krumbination, and just, you know, when I think of just raw creativity on YouTube, I definitely think of you, Ben. So, you know, I just have to say you were on the short list for people, the first few people I wanted to have on the Vlogalog. I'm very happy that you are here and you're taking the time to have this conversation with me. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing well. And may I say right off the bat, thanks for all those kind words. It's really cool and raw. So what is the word of the day?
The word of the day is sleep, because we are about, as we figured out earlier, about 6 hours apart here, and you are probably just getting ready to go to sleep in an hour or so, or I don't know how late you stay up, but it's nighttime there, and you're getting ready to sleep, and I just got up from sleeping couple of hours ago, and I'm probably going to take a nap after this because I didn't get a lot of sleep last night for other reasons. But that, I would definitely say sleep is the word of the day. And maybe, you know, I've actually been having a hard time, and we'll talk about about this a lot more later, but I've been having a hard time with webcam's ideas lately. So maybe we could maybe we should do an episode about insomnia. That might be an idea. I have to write that down.
That sounds like a good idea. I can actually. There's a.
Or did you already write something?
What is it called? Yeah, I've written something yesterday. Because I'm watching the Vlogalog yesterday, right? With Eric, I struck a chord with Eric because, I mean, like he said, he'd been in a physical job in a factory for like 10 years sort of thing. He's not in it anymore. Did he say he's free of that?
Yes, he is.
Yeah,
yes,
well, that's
he's
me.
Done with it for now.
I've been in one of those jobs where you just don't need to use your brain.
Yeah.
and it was very familiar to me because all of the scenarios are going through my head while I'm doing this job that just doesn't require my brain. So I used to write. I had little blue books, not black ones, but blue ones. And I'd write down notes and stories, and I'd have a whole webcams done. I start at 8 o'clock and finish at 4 o'clock, and I'd just come home, put it on the computer, and send it to you.
Right.
So that was very familiar for me. So yesterday I got what I do. Since I've got my iPhone, I usually write it in the iPhone now. So I wrote a whole lot of stuff on neuroplasticity.
What is that? I feel as though I should know what it is, but I don't.
Exactly. I read it and I thought, what is that? But what it is you know what a brain is made of. It's made of neurons, which are cells, brain cells, and plasticity is forming. It forms. So in other words, it's the ability for the brain to change the way it's wired up due to experiences that you have. So in other words, if you change what you usually do during the day, like for example, the last 2 years of wireless capability with your iPhones and stuff, we live through this now. So, and it just struck to me that going through your whole day, checking, you know what I mean? Like you update your status on
Sure.
Facebook. Some people do it every hour, every 2 minutes, every 3 minutes.
You should have
you
seen the poop I just took. It was awesome. Interestingly enough, I don't think I've ever seen anybody tweet or Facebook about their bowel movements. As much as we joke about it.
Actually.
Huh?
I don't think I have either.
I know, which is funny considering how much we like to joke about it.
So, well, I have started a script on basically how scattered we have become. There's I'd have to go in my iPhone, so I'll talk and try and go into the same time into my notes. But there was a person that was that's written a book called Nicholas Carr, his name is, and the book is called The Shallows, and it's about how shallow we've become. We've become so because we multi-skill task now. We update our status on Facebook.
You're getting a little laggy here.
Hey.
And we're back. This is going to be a fun chat.
Yeah, this is going to be fun.
Was that just a random drop connection on your end?
I think so.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay,
I really don't know.
I think it's just because the signal is traveling so far.
Yeah.
You know, it loses steam every now and then. So, you know.
It could be. It's just run out of steam. Yeah.
Anyway, you were talking about, I don't know if you know where it cut off for you, but you were talking about your webcam script idea, and I last heard about how your research into this one particular guy was saying that humans are kind of shallow because we were spread so thin.
And he was saying he doesn't know if it's a problem or not, that it's going to be permanent, but he thinks it might be permanent, how we change and how scattered we get. But there's also other viewpoints on it as well, and it goes into a lot of technical and stuff about the brain and how we survive and how we adapt and change.
Mm-hmm.
And they certainly know that animals have this instinct and this ability to change their minds due to the experiences they have. But they, over up until the last 20 years ago, they thought our brains were wired fixed, so it couldn't change. Mm-hmm. From when we were born, it's wired up. So how we were born. They realise now that we can change, and the actual physically how it wired up it changes from what we do during the day, sort of thing. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm interested in anyway. I'm just trying to get that into an everyday sort of script.
Right, and that sounds incredibly interesting. And I have to say that, as of recently, and by recently, obviously the past 2, maybe 3 months or so, in reading in your writing of the webcam scripts, and I think that probably started with the BP oil one. The amount of research that you're putting into it is really what appeals to me, and one of the things that I think really sets it apart, because generally speaking, when I sit down to write a script, I've got a nugget of an idea in my head, and I'm like, bam, 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 done. And that's it. You know,
I appreciate that too, and that's the way I was doing it too. And I mean, I was following what you were doing as well. And I mean, I have never been really a writer, so it's only this year that I've wanted to put. No, over the last 2 years probably, I've been wanting to put what's in my head onto paper, and it helps just to do that. Just
absolutely
what it is in here on paper. Or in digital form.
Now, what you haven't seen yet, because obviously it hasn't been posted yet, but last week's I'm speaking in reference to our viewers. Last week's episode of the Vlogalog, Chris and I talked about you a little bit, and I'll repeat it here because I'm telling you face to face for the first time. First of all, it has to be said, obviously, and maybe not that obviously, but I am so immensely grateful for the effort that you've put into your writing and contributing to that aspect of webcams.
That's really cool.
It has been very, very helpful and rewarding to me. On the same note, however, and I don't really mean this negatively, it's just the other side of the coin that you wouldn't know about. It's just I've learned that rewriting someone else's script, and I want to talk more about that with you, because that's a completely unique experience that I think so far you and like 2 other people have been privy to, having their material rewritten. But rewriting someone else's material is actually harder for me than writing, because like I said, when I sit down and write a script, assuming I have that nugget of an idea in the first place, bam, 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 I'm done with it, and if I go back to rewrite, it's just very cursory and very just like, fixing some language here and there. When I'm rewriting contributor scripts like yours or anyone else who's contributed a script, like I said, there's been 2 or 3 or 4 other people. What I found the best way to do that is I have it all in a document, space down, move your script down, and just start literally rewriting the whole thing line by line. And I kind of just incorporate everything you have written in your script into very literally a whole new draft of the script. And I found that it's a necessary process.
Oh God, yeah, and I think that it comes through when I see when you send it back to me. It comes through exactly what you've said, because you keep really key things that I write. You keep those there, and you work around it, and then you research your own, like the BP one and a few others. You've done research of your own, and full credit. It's really cool because the whole feeling is kept from your draft when it comes to me.
And just for our viewers, I want to kind of just provide that thumbnail sketch of what this process is. Basically, and let's use the BP script as the example, since it's such a shining example. It starts off on your end. The whole idea starts with you. You were inspired by the Church of Dave at the time. So you go ahead and just write this first draft of a script. You think it's a great webcams idea, and then you send it over to me. From there, and like I said, the first thing I saw in that script was the amount of research you had done for it. So immediately, I'm amazingly attracted to the script because of the research. And
if you didn't have it, then it wouldn't be worth it.
Absolutely. And I knew that the script was going to be important, even if it wasn't going to be funny, ha-ha, which is usually what we aim for in webcams. So I think I sat on it for a little while because it was such a big script to rewrite. But, like I just explained, I did eventually rewrite the script. And once I've rewritten a contributor script, I always send it right back to that person, whoever wrote it in the first place. Make sure I get their approval on the changes that I've made to it, and see if they or you want to make any further changes to it. And it's after we both agree on what's on the page that it goes up on the website and put in front of the community. In the sense of the BP script, you're absolutely right. During my rewrite process, I did, because as I'm rewriting, it's kind of like the best way to describe it is a script is kind of like is kind of like a lump of clay, you know,
Mm,
and
yeah.
you know, for example, right now, as far as webcam scripts, I don't even have the clay, so there's nothing for me to work with. There's nothing in my head to work with. So when you have gathered all that clay together and like
Molded it
shaped it
in.
into something, when you send it to me, I go through and just smooth it out. And as far as the BP script goes, which is why I had to do a little research, there was like a couple of missing pieces throughout. So in order to finish smoothing it out completely, had to fill it out and get the last bits of research in there. And I did, you know, I do think it came out very well. But what I'm curious about, again, like I said, you're one of a very few handful of people who have gone through this process with me. What do you think? How does this process affect you? And we haven't really talked about it because
No, we haven't.
yeah, and I
Again,
kind of
it's like
sit
one
on,
of those things. Huh? Yeah, sorry. Again, it's like one of those things, like you said with Eric yesterday and Chris when I what the day before. What is it? That you worked collaborate with these people, and we sort of go back and forth with emails and stuff, and things just happen, and we don't talk about it, and it's good. It's good, but it's good also to have this chat as well, isn't it? Yeah.
yeah.
But back to what do I think you're saying is what would you
Well,
say?
basically, from where I'm sitting, you know, wearing my producer hat, as I often say, you know, I know that the process is very necessary, and because we do want to have, you know, the best possible script, the best possible episode of webcams, and that means having the best possible script. So, you know, wearing my producer hat, I know that it is very necessary to go through the various drafts of your scripts and the other contributor scripts. But wearing the Jordan hat. Okay, and we are back recording again after about what was that? A good 15 minutes down.
I think so.
Something like that. Anyway, we were wrapping up when we cut out. I was going on about the difference between my producer hat and the Jordan hat, where I consider you a friend, and I know, like, my producer hat, I know how necessary it is to make the best script possible, but, you know, as your friend, I'm a little concerned, like, I mean, oh great, now my video's flicking on and off.
Yeah,
I'm a little concerned that as a friend, you hand me your script, I say, this is great, now I'm going to change all of it, and I worry that comes across in a bad way, so I was hoping, like, in your own words, you might be able to tell me your thoughts on our process and how you feel about having your material rewritten.
Yeah, we're back. Oh, this. Damn.
As soon as we finish, I'm just gonna sit on the couch, turn off all the lights, and then just cry for a minute.
Yeah. Just make sure, double check that the camera's off. We don't want you crying.
What are you talking about? If I record that and post it on YouTube, it'll be my most popular video ever.
Well, you've got a point there. People crying and the misfortune of people, it's the best thing.
Yeah. So
I'll get back to straight to before it cuts out again. I think that, in my own words, I think that's really good. I think that because what you've got a vision for what your webcams is, and to take on everyone else's ideas and collaborate with them, and to put it into the formula that you have for webcams is it's really good that you're accepting ideas and keeping the steering the ship, so to speak, in the right way into the vision of what you wanted webcams to be, and right through to writing and the editing and everything. I think it's really good. Personally, I think it's cool. Sometimes I think, oh, why did he write that, and why did he write this? But then again, I think, well, no, that's just another point of view, and it can be written any way you want. So it's very quick that I think, well, that's it. That's just another point of view, and that's just absolutely fine because it can be done so many different ways, and one line can be said so many more than you have ways that have fingers, so I think it's fine. I think personally it's great.
That's really good. One thing that I think is prevalent in our back and forth with the writing is that when I read when I go over your lines, you have there are times when the line just doesn't play right in my own head. So I think we have like very different dialects at play here.
Yeah,
and
sometimes.
And the thing about that is, and I think it's something that we're kind of training all of our players to do, is that just because it's written a certain way on the page doesn't mean that's how it has to be said. A performer has to take those words and make them work for themselves. And we've got a couple of people who are really good at that. Some people not so much. But it's something that is in the back of my head when I'm rewriting, and I don't know if I'm successful at, again, like smoothing things out and making it more approachable or not. I think it's one of those things where it goes either way, and it kind of depends on whoever is reading it, because I'm sure just as much as a line you might write doesn't quite play right in my head, there's got to be tons of lines that I write that aren't playing right in your head. So I'm not not quite sure where that happy medium is.
I think the proof is in the pudding. That is the happy medium. We've seen it.
Yeah, just going back and forth. And with our writing process,
exactly. And if it strikes a chord with, okay, we could take the BP for example. There's over 13,000 hits.
Mm-hmm.
Proof's in the pudding there, and there's what, there must be four or five webcams now over thousands, over about 4,000.
Well, I wouldn't put too much stock into that, because I do.
No, I know that.
I do promoting behind the scenes of my own. So it's not all, the view count doesn't always add up to the number of people who have seen the episodes. But the thing with BP is that, yes, a lot of people have actually seen that one.
Yeah. But the comments and the depth of the comments, not just this was great type thing. The depth of the comments, the actual, what they're interested in. Oh my God, did I learn something? Sort of thing. Comments and being entertained at the same time. That was really cool to hear as well. So I think the proof's there. It's like you said, working back and forth and finding that happy medium, and we're seeing, I think we're seeing of late people playing with a character and actually playing, not just delivering the line, but getting a character to come through those words, which is good. It's really cool.
Yeah, we are definitely seeing more of that. The other aspect of webcams that I wanted to touch on with you is that you have, I have assigned a special duty to you, and you've been acting as our official casting director for a short while now. And I think the reason why I kind of wanted to go in that direction in the first place was to kind of add a layer of I don't know what make it less questionable to people who are watching the entire process, because obviously everybody, we're a collaborative show, and everyone says me, I want to play this part or that part or what have you, and it's my show, and if I'm making all the decisions, I think there's this sense like I don't, I'm not really being openly collaborative. Not that that's ever been an issue, but I think that it can be perceived at times. So that was one reason why I was interested in having you make that final decision as far as casting goes. But the other thing is that before we were officially calling you the casting director, you were making some really good casting calls and suggestions because you are just oddly very well connected on YouTube.
Oddly enough.
I mean, just to the point where like you know these people who are very talented and should be involved with these things, and like I only know of them once you bring them to my attention. So how is that? How are you so well connected?
That's what I would like to know. But really, it's I don't know either. But the fact is, I think like there was, when I did that. What was the krumbine tribute for you?
Right.
Yeah. Video, and I've got all these people now. Well, it all sort of stemmed from around about there, where I would just go out and just ask people, and I didn't care who they were. I just went to big shots on YouTube as well and said, look, I've got this fella, blah, blah, blah. Do you know him? If you do, do you want to do a tribute, contribute to this? And then I thought, okay, well, I'm going to get some music. I went to Misty Mayhem as well. But she's really, I really dig her music. She's really talented.
She is good.
And that was my first Skype call that I had done, I think.
Really?
No, it was only audio Skype. But and that was cool to speak to her, and she was so happy to do the song, and she said, yeah, fine, I'm going to do a song. And then I just thought, well, if we're going to get this done, I'm just going to have to talk. So just directly talking to people gets you totally connected. So
true, that's very true.
Is my camera frozen from your side?
Yes, you are totally frozen for a few minutes now, but
yeah,
we've been cutting out so many times that I'm just going with it until it cuts out again or something. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about it too much.
It is quite a mystery that how I have been connected, but it's cool.
Yeah, and you certainly have used it to your advantage. Like I said earlier, when I think of you, I just think of this raw bundle of creativity, and that comes through in your videos in a very big way. And then if there's anyone who comes close to what's that? Are you still there?
Okay.
So, I'm not entirely sure where we left off because it was a little while ago and I didn't jot a note down. But basically, I was saying something along the lines of how you have all this raw creativity and it comes through in almost everything, all the videos that you do. And I was gonna ask you, about your collabs and all the different and your experience working with all the different people you've been working with for your videos, and what all that has meant to you.
Yeah, personally, it means a hell of a lot. Well, I suppose a bit of background. I come from Australia, as most people probably know.
Mm-hmm.
And I came to Sweden in 2003, January 2003. And if it wasn't for the internet, well, and connections through YouTube and stuff,
right.
then I really wouldn't wouldn't be as happy as what I am now. So yeah, so it means a hell of a lot. It means a hell of a lot, and some of the things, the connections that I've made with people that I otherwise would not have met is outstanding. It's great. It's improved me as a person, I think, and apart from living here and seeing the world from another culture's set of eyes, is one sort of growth for me anyway. And growing through this just with, well, what I'm amazed is people like to do what I suggest as well, and that's cool.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, don't you get a buzz out of that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's a real buzz. That is Adobe Flash Player is being installed. Sorry, another update for that. I'm just giving you an update on the update.
For our viewers who aren't really viewers anymore, but listeners, since I'm not even I'm not even recording my video feed anymore. The Ben's connection kept dropping, and as he is troubleshooting it, we're just continuing our conversation through his iPhone.
Yeah, the wonders of technology.
I know, isn't it awesome? But it's not an iPhone 4. That's not even out in Sweden yet, is it?
No, I think it is now, but you're on a waiting list, I think.
Oh, okay.
I gather, if you've ordered one. So I'd say the big cities like Stockholm and Gothenburg would have them, and people like us in regional areas, like there's supposed to be only 2,000 people live in the little town that I live in. So it's quite small, and I was surprised that there is actually 2,000 people here. I thought there was way less. So we are quite regional. So yeah, I have not seen the iPhone 4 here at all. So no.
I didn't think there were 2,000 people here either.
No. Finn didn't even think so either. But it's a quaint little town. But yeah, getting to about what you're saying, it's it really is. It's worth a million times over the connections that I make through people wanting to do something that comes out of my head.
Right.
Collaborate with everyone is so great, and I'm actually falling behind. The last 4 months maybe, I haven't been answering all comments as straight away like I used to. I find that I'm falling behind with all of the stuff that comes out of my head. There's more and more that comes out, ideas, and I write it down, and if I don't write it down, I don't act upon it. And then there's more collabs, like with Bet on This Horse. I'm falling behind with him. There's this. I wrote a script with a conversation that he had with 2 other people through comments, basically from a video from Buck Redbuck. It was basically on the ice cream sequence, and
ice cream videos. Okay.
Yeah, I think you've seen a bit of that, haven't you?
I've seen a couple of them. Yeah, you're gonna take that to the next level, I imagine.
Yeah, exactly. And I wrote the script, and he was blown away by the script, and I was pretty well. Yeah, there was another thing that I did some more research in, and it went all the way back to the origins of ice cream. And
that's great.
Going back to China, ancient China, and then all the way forward to America's first president, and so forth. It was quite interesting. But that I'm falling behind. I feel ashamed that he's sitting waiting. He's not sitting waiting for me, but You know, like I said that I'd get to it, and I haven't
Well,
got to it.
well, he said he was going to post a video response to. Geez, it was the first episode of Crumbine's Brain that I did from the free start. I think it was the one for Bet on This Horse, and he said he was going to do a video response to that, and that hasn't happened yet. So I wouldn't worry about it too much.
No, but you know what? He's working on an album as well to come out. I think he said like the 28th of December or something, and like he said before, he never does things in halves. He does it full on,
right.
Man. He's really full on, and he's actually keen to work with you and webcams if it suits, sort of thing as well. So. Yeah, and then the collabs with the Captain Holy Pants, they're really cool. He's always keen to do scripts that I write, and even and collabing. I've done one collab with LeBrain, the Christopher LeBrain, the musical talent that is for webcams. He's done music for what is it, Senator Cyril character?
Yep.
I don't know. I'd like to get your feedback. Actually, what do you think of that character? He kind of annoys the crap out of me.
The Cyril, yeah. I mean, he's definitely an interesting character. Honestly, if I can be honest with you, like I say, when I watch your videos, I see all this raw creativity, and I think it's genius. What I think you're lacking is that polish, and I think it's for the most part, it's in the video editing, because like we were just talking about, as far as a script goes, I hear it in my head in one dialect, you hear it in your head in another dialect, and just because it doesn't sound right to me doesn't mean when you say those words doesn't mean it's not going to work for you. So that's why I'm not keen to criticize your script at all for your productions, and lean more towards the editing, because that's what I can definitely see. And we've talked about this before. I really think it's this. I am a firm believer of using the right editing software, and I know you're locked into your Pinnacle software, but there's much better stuff that can be used.
Yeah, exactly. I'd love to update my hardware very, very shortly. A lot of new technology is going to come out next year, and it's going to be quickened up something chronic. I think Microsoft have got a chip with a graphic card inbuilt in it, and things are just going to move very quick next year, and it's going to change a lot. So,
well, that's good.
I'm going to wait for that.
Okay. But I mean, yeah, and I'm reluctant to even offer that criticism, because I think it's unnecessary. But because the good in your videos so far eclipses those rough edges that I'm talking about.
Yeah. It's a shame. It's just probably my thing as well, which I don't really the unprofessionalism, maybe. I don't know, man. I don't know how to put it in words, but sometimes it with the codes, different codecs of files and stuff, I get them mixed up, and then the system crashes because it can't handle the different codes and stuff. But it's all a learning process.
Yeah, and when you're dealing with the collabs and stuff, the more you're dealing with all the different kinds of video files and all the different contributors and whatnot, that just makes it that much more difficult. So, any kind of criticism I offer is from, my position where I do that all the time. I've gotten it down to a really a smooth process, and visually, I aim for the most seamless production. So, I mean, I know everybody can't, meet those levels of expectations, especially early on in their editing careers. So,
you're cutting out a bit. Sorry.
yeah, and it sounds like the quality shifted or something. Do you want to see if you can't? Is the computer ready to go again? Maybe we can just switch over to that real quick.
Yeah, I think what will happen is I'll have to stop this conversation to log out of here so I can log in on the computer maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go ahead and try that, and then we'll just go ahead and wrap up the whole chat then. Okay. This is definitely going to be the most interesting vlog ever. I sent
Yeah.
well, during our in-between moments, for our viewers here, I sent you a quick message that said, "Damn you for making me actually edit this vlog." So there won't be a lot of editing, but there'll have to be a little bit. And your video's already frozen again, so this isn't going to last for very long either.
I can see that, yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
Ben, thank you very, very much for taking the time and the effort, obviously, to do this with me. I really appreciate you, period, and I obviously appreciate everything you've done for me and taking the time to do this with me. If we can, before we cut out completely, I just want to throw some really quick things at you, and then you can we'll fill in the blanks, and then we'll just say goodbye before the computers explode on us.
Yeah.
Just like I did for Eric, I want you to tell me your if there's one video of yours that people must see. What would that be? And we'll go ahead and link that, and you can post it as a video response when this goes up.
Oh shit! I should have thought about that because I when you asked Eric that, I thought, if we ever get this video chat up, you're going to ask me that. Well, I suppose there's a few that I've done with Finn, the latest ones, I suppose.
And I really enjoyed those, actually.
Yeah, the one when we're walking around.
That one was actually exceptionally good. I did really enjoy that.
That was really cool. That we worked off together really well, and we did it so quick, and it was a script that I wrote in like half an hour and said, let's go out and do this.
Okay, I'm
So
pulling up your channel right now. What was the name of that one?
A Conversation, was it?
Okay, maybe, but we'll go ahead and find it and link to it. You still there? Hey, so let's just wrap this up on audio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The video was a conversation, so we'll go ahead and link that, and if you can post it as a video response, that would be good too when we get this video up. Really, the last thing I wanted to ask you about was Krumbination and the website, the network there. It's been, I don't know if it's been a mess, but it's definitely hasn't been as good as it could have been. Do you have any ideas on what we should do with that?
Yeah, I actually not too sure on the ideas, but I mean, I think I want to start. Well, I suppose I have a few ideas, but a writing, like if we can get some back and forth writing, some people thinking about, like, if we have, like, I don't know, like someone start a subject and then we go back and forth, like a situation that's in someone's head and then they write it down, put it in words, and we collaborate that way. That's one way.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea, and would actually has been something that I've been thinking about, obviously, since I haven't had many ideas for webcams. And when we started with webcams, I would turn to everything and everybody on Crumbination for inspiration. So, you know,
Yeah,
I
and
guess
that
I guess one
thing.
of my concerns is that since then I've also gotten into Facebook pretty heavily, and it is very clear that there's some redundancies there. Do you think that we can overcome that?
Yeah, I think that what might happen with, I don't know, with combination, it's going to shapeshift a little. The focus will change maybe on what the actual, how it's being used. Maybe I'm not too sure that, because I don't see much activity there, and I actually haven't had the time to go back over there. Every now and then I do, and I really actually feel bad about the fact that I haven't been able the time to actually go over and do more.
Oh, don't feel too bad. I haven't had the time to do anything either.
There's another idea that I've actually wanted to do, but I don't know how to put it into action or get people involved in. Is I want to like ad lib. I want It's basic premise of ad libbing. Now, where you can you record some, like, if I, for example, if I've got a story in my head, right, I will do a few lines, and I send that video to someone, right, and then they ad lib to those lines and send the next person
Hmm.
those two videos to ad lib to, and so forth, and come back to whoever's designated to edit the whole thing, right?
Uh huh.
It's very loose, but the idea of it is to actually ad lib to the lines that you receive.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting concept. I think that would be something fun to try with some of the more seasoned performers, and just see what they come up with. People like Eric and you and the like.
Yeah, and I don't know, cute, but to actually go out on combination and try and get people interested in that way as well.
Cool. Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and keep thinking about that. Ben, thank you very, very much again for enduring all of your technical hiccups here. Um, once you get things sorted out on your end, let's definitely do this again and do it right the next time. But I'll let you know
Yeah,
when this one goes up. And thank you again.
I mean, excellent. Thank you, Jordan, and stay creative.
You too, buddy.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
You have a good night.
Yeah, and sleep well, dude.
All right. You too. Bye bye.
Okay.
When it's horrible, bad and wrong. When it's horrible, bad and wrong. When it's horrible, bad and wrong.